j'aime mon voyage. J'ai compris.
On va ouvrir la porte, mais c'est tellement chaud.
Oh, hier, juste trop bu.
Bon, t'es dans un bateau, là?
Je suis dans le bateau, ouais.
Pendant que t'es dans le bateau, moi, je suis en train de laver des plats.
Well, very good afternoon to the people who joined us at the Embankment of Festival. Now, for the people who joined us, just some safety information to let you know the vessel you're travelling on is all licensed with Maritime Coast Guard. On the roof of the vessel, there's inflatable life rafts. Life rings are all around the vessel, as are the life jackets. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please remain calm and await further instructions given over the public address system. And that's the end of the safety information. Wasn't meant to have alarmed you. If it has done so, there is a fully licensed bar in the saloon. Past the bar, you'll find the toilets. As we left Westminster, I started pointing out some places of interest. I'm not a professional guide though, so if I do make any mistakes, please just bear with me. In front of us, we have the Waterloo Bridge. Now, this was completed during the Second World War by the Land Army. It is more affectionately known here on the Thames as the Ladies' Bridge. And this is because the Land Army at that time, it was made up by 80% of female labour. All our men were away fighting in the armed forces. It is also, though, the only bridge to ever be completed on time and on budget. I think you'll all agree in saying what a lovely job the ladies have done. Now, to the right, the building with the illuminated sign, this is the National Theatre. It has been voted by several of London's top architects as being the ugliest looking building in London. Now, King Charles, back when he was Prince Charles, he once said in an interview that that building looked more like the back end of a nuclear power station. I think that most people would agree with him. Now, coming up on the left, we have a large white ship with a yellow funnel. It is called the Wellington. It's the floating livery hall for the Honourable Company of Past Master Mariners. To be a Master Mariner, you have to have served over 25 years at sea. Now, it's very difficult to see because we're on the high water. But as we go past the ship, if you look behind the flag on the river bank, we're going to see a stone archway. It is called the Temple Arch, and it's the boundary line between two cities. Now, that's the city of Westminster we are just leaving, and we are now entering the City of London. The City of London is one of the world's smallest capital cities. There's only one square. It's a Temple Arch. Also to the left, there's a red telephone box. Now, years ago, there was hundreds in London. In fact, probably thousands. But that's the only one today that remains in the City of London. Soon to be turned into a 2-bedroom luxury apartment with riverside views. Now, if we look to the right, we have the famous Oxo Tower. It was built in 1931. At that time, and still to this day, we have very strict advertising laws. But you'll see how the architect got around the laws by incorporating the company's name into the building. Look at the red brick building, the tower on the top. Oxo. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of Oxo, the people who make the famous gravy stock cube. The building no longer belongs to the Oxo company. It is a Grade 2 listed building. Can never ever legally be removed. Comprises of many things today. The bottom's a few shops, the middle is apartments, and the top is the famous Oxo Tower restaurant.
Merci, Nathalie.
And to the left, that building with a sloped roof and a spire in the middle, that's the old City of London School for Boys. Many famous people educated over there. Lord Asquith, Lloyd George, two of our former Prime Ministers. Building now belongs to J.P. Morgan, the American bank. In front of us, the Blackfriars Road Bridge, followed by the Blackfriars Railway Bridge. But as we pass through, you're going to see all that remains from the first ever railway bridge to span the River Thames. The old St Paul's Railway Bridge. Now it carried the first steam trains across the river for the Chatham Dover railway line. The top half of the bridge, it was removed many years ago, as it couldn't take the weight of the modern day trains. You can never remove these old pillars though. If you was to pull these out, you would actually undermine the foundations of the modern day bridge. It would become unsafe. That's why the 8 red pillars remain today. Now, coming up on the right, we have the building with a tall chimney, the old Bankside Power Station. Today, it's the Tate Modern Art Gallery. Now, if you want to see things like a pile of old bricks, or half a cow in a jar, well, that is the place to go. If you want to see a real work of art, you look to the left-hand side. Dominating the skyline, the dome and golden cross, Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece, St Paul's Cathedral. It took Wren 35 years to complete. It stands 365 feet tall, and it is the second largest unsupported cathedral dome in Europe. The second to that of St Peter's, in the Vatican City in Rome. The red brick building in front of St Paul's, the new City of London School. A young man called Daniel Radcliffe went to school there before he became Harry Potter. Now, as we pass beneath Norman Foster's Millennium Footbridge, coming up on the right, the white circular building with a thatched roof is the replica of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. Built to the dream of an American film director, Sam Wanamaker. Go over there today and you can see an old Shakespearean play being reenacted, as it would have been done back in Shakespeare's time. Now, in front of us, we have the Southwark Bridge. It opened in 1921 and originally built to relieve the strain from the old London Bridge. But if we look up above the bridge, in front of us to the right, dominating the skyline, we have the Shard. Now, at the moment, the Shard is still the tallest tower block in Western Europe, 1,016 feet tall. Comprises of many things today. There's offices, shops, bars and restaurants, hotels, and the top of that building is a viewing gallery. Another very expensive viewing gallery. It's actually £45 to go up there for 45 minutes to get in a lift and look out a window. Now, through the bridge, if we keep looking to the right, coming up, we have a very old and historical pub. It's called the Anchor at Bankside. In 2015, it celebrated its 400th birthday. Over the years, it has been frequented by many famous people, including William Shakespeare. The original Globe Theatre stood somewhere behind the pub, in a place called Park Street.
De rien tot
So that pub is 410 years old this year. Well, this is the Cannon Street Railway Bridge. And that's about it, really. There is no historical interest in this bridge whatsoever. But it is followed by the New London Bridge. And this one was opened by Queen Elizabeth II back in 1973. The first ever London Bridge dates back to the Roman times of AD 43. The London Bridge before this became unsafe, taken down stone by stone, sold to an American oil company. Now spans Lake Havasu in the Arizona desert, USA. Now, keeping with American history, look to the right between the buildings. You're going to see the lovely Southwark Cathedral. It was in Southwark Cathedral where a man called John Harvard was baptized.
Marc-André, je vais revenir plus
So it was
tard,
in
j'ai
Southwark
appelé mon
Cathedral where a
père pour
man
lui
called
montrer
John
ça.
Harvard was
À
baptized,
tantôt.
the
Je
son of
reviens
a
plus
local
tard, à
tradesman.
tantôt.
Now, he left England and went to America, where he founded the Harvard Library.